Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Dennis Adigunloye. Let's begin with the headlines. Passenger plane crashes upon arrival at Muan International Airport. Officials confirm only 2 out of 181 people on board survive. Chadians vote in legislative and provincial elections as opposition calls for boycott. And troops of Operation Fansanyama apprehend 25-year-old female ammunition courier who allegedly specializes in supplying weapons to terrorists in Zamfara state. Let's begin with the electoral matters. Voting continued in Chad on Sunday as the first voters turned up at polling stations in N'Djamena to vote in legislative, provincial and local elections. And voting in general elections opened in Croatia. Kolo Mohammed reports.
The election in Chad began yesterday, even though opposition calls for a boycott. It is presented by the government as the last stage in political transition after 3 years of military rule. Analysts say with the stance taken by the opposition, the field has been left open to candidates who are aligned with Marshal Muhammad Idris Itno, who was brought to power by the military in 2011. Chadian civil society organizations had called for dissolution of traditional military council headed by General Deby. People of Chad have been living regular daily lives hoping for change with presidential successor Mohamed Deby. Similarly, a presidential election has held today in Croatia with a second round slated for 12th January 2025 if no candidate receives a majority. Incumbent President Zoran Milanovic is eligible for second term. His first term began on 19 February 2020 and will end on 18 February 2025. The President of Croatia is directly elected by secret ballot to a term of 5 years using the round system, with presidents limited to 2 full terms in office. Kolo Mohammed, NTA News.
More than 100 people were killed when a passenger plane caught fire after skidding off a runway and crashing at an airport in South Korea's Muan City. Here again is Kolo Mohammed with details.
The accident occurred Sunday morning as the Jeju Air flight from Thai capital Bangkok landed at Muan International Airport located about 289 kilometers southwest of the capital Seoul. The National Fire Agency confirmed that 176 people, 83 women, 82 men, and 11 others whose genders weren't immediately identified were killed, and 2 people rescued, both crew members. The fire agency officials reported that there seemed to have been some kind of malfunction with the landing gear, and images which have been in the media appear to show the plane landing on its belly, skidding along the runway, followed by a huge explosion. Eyewitness accounts have talked about a series of explosions soon after the plane landed on its belly. The plane, a 50-year-old Boeing 737-800 jet, was reported to be carrying 2 Thai passengers, and the rest were believed to be South Koreans. In another development, an Air Canada flight was forced to make an emergency landing at Halifax-Stanville International Airport after experiencing a malfunction with its landing gear on Sunday. Air Canada Flight 2259 departing from St. John's International Airport experienced landing troubles at 9:30 that caused skidding and an engine to fire, prompting a swift response from emergency crews to ensure the safety of all on board. Also, a KLM flight crashes off a runway at Oslo Airport after emergency landing. The Boeing 737-800 en route to Amsterdam from Oslo diverted due to hydraulic failure shortly after takeoff. Though it landed safely, the plane lost control during the rollout, according to reports. Kolo Mohammed, NTA News.
Now, the year 2024 saw significant advancements in diplomatic partnerships and global cooperation under President Bola Tinubu, with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs implementing the President's foreign policy as part of Nigeria's renewed hope agenda. Garba Natala highlights these engagements.
Analyzing progress made so far, the Minister of Foreign Affairs gave insights into his ministry's performance and impact on Nigeria's foreign policy goals under President Tinubu's administration. The ministry conducted a series of high-level diplomatic engagements, bilateral meetings, and participated in multilateral summits to strengthen cooperation and advance mutual interests with foreign allies.
With all the activities going on, we've had about 300 engagements in and out of the country. There's an MOU with India, agreements with the US, with EU. We established the Nigeria-Qatar Joint Business Council between the two chambers of commerce of Nigeria and Qatar. Hosting of the AU African Humanitarian Agency. The team came in April to assess. It's very competitive. We believe we've done enough.
Aside this, however, funding being a major obstacle, the ministry continued to safeguard Nigeria's interest on the global stage.
We are pushing very hard for Nigeria to become a member of the G20. We've campaigned, engaged with so many G20 members. We're also campaigning assiduously for membership, permanent membership of the UN Security Council. There's the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme, where so far, based on the sensitization programs that the ministry has been handling, workshops, we have enrolled 933 Nigerian companies, 10,850 products have been registered. This is something that is very important because that way you can avoid tax when Nigerian companies are moving goods and services within ECOWAS. Otherwise, they get taxed.
Trade and economic diplomacy is another aspect pursued by the ministry to promote exports, attract foreign investments, scholarships to Nigerian youths, job opportunities, exchange programs, providing consular and visa services for Nigerians facing legal challenges in foreign countries, and many more. In 2024, the 4D Foreign Policy Initiative of President Bola Tinubu's administration has secured investments amounting to $5 billion thanks to numerous high-level diplomatic engagements led by the Nigerian leader, resulting in various bilateral and multilateral partnerships.
The job of our senior officials will only achieve the desired goal if we did very well in implementation.
The partnership between China and Nigeria that focuses on agriculture, infrastructure, and economic development is crucial. Following the initial intergovernmental committee session, both countries have pledged to strengthen cooperation across various sectors. On multilateral discussions, global issues are addressed. In forums like the United Nations General Assembly, Vice President Kashim Shettima conveyed Nigeria's stance on global concerns, particularly regarding the Israeli-Palestine conflict and challenges faced by Africa. Nigeria's participation in G20 summit hosted by Brazil in November 2024 under the leadership of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlights the country's stance on key global issues and the agreements made. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga conducted shuttle diplomacy to 4 ECOWAS member states, aiming to foster support in addressing both global and regional issues. He provided a briefing to journalists in Abuja regarding the outcomes of his diplomacy initiative.
The nature of the world today, we're living in a multipolar world. It is becoming increasingly complex, but at the same time, the political structure of the world is designed in such a way that regional cohesion is all important. It's important for regions to be together.
Despite facing challenges, Nigeria's foreign engagements led to strong investments in the year under review, with countries like United Kingdom contributing Netherlands, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, UAE, India, Germany, Ethiopia, Benin Republic, Guinea-Bissau, Ghana, Senegal, and Qatar, all supporting Nigeria's economic growth and development. More successes are expected in the year 2025 with the appointment of Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Bianca Ojukwu as the year projects a positive outlook. In Abuja, Garib Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
In other news, Chairman, Senate Committee on Public Accounts Ahmed Aliu Wadada is assuring Nigerians that the tax reform bills currently before the National Assembly will be a game changer in driving revenue generation and ensuring equity in revenue sharing, among other reforms to stimulate economic growth and development. Senator Wadada urged Nigerians to support the reforms as he commends President Bola Tinubu for the bold steps taken so far to reset the economy. Aliu Tijani reports.
The tax reform bill have continued to generate reaction for and against as the bill goes through legislative processes targeting holistic reforms and a paradigm shift in tax system of the Federation. Chairman Senate Committee on Public Account, Senator Ahmed Aliu Wadada, advises critics of the bill to carefully study content of the bill rather than being politically motivated in their submissions. On the value-added tax, VAT, which is the most contentious issue in the reform bills, Senator Wadada assures that the Senate will take into consideration all submissions so as to reach a consensus before passing the bill.
The most controversial and ambiguous aspect of the tax reform bill is the VAT aspect of it. My understanding of the tax reform is a fantastic document because the world today is a global village. Nigeria cannot live in isolation.
While commending President Bola Tinubu for his administration policies and reforms, Senator Wadada says Nigeria must not miss this opportunity to reform its tax system. Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has flagged off nationwide distribution of food items to vulnerable women and families to enable them to have food in the spirit of the season. More details with Momso Damien Dati.
Welcome to the official flagging off of the Renewed Hope end-of-year intervention for vulnerable women and families.
Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and I hope that this little intervention will support many more families to put food on the table. All the groups, they are registered with us, as many as possible. This will be done all across the country. More people that will be supporting us so that we can be able to kind of double up effort to ensure that we address the global challenges around food security.
When we gather like this, it is not only to celebrate those that are less vulnerable. No, it is to celebrate the entirety of the Nigerian woman, the girl child, and the vulnerable among us as well.
It's not possible for us to bring all the group members here. Various group leaders are here to collect consignment on behalf of their groups, then for onward distribution to the members of their groups.
Women from diverse groups, organizations and associations, religious and secular, are all represented here.
We want to thank His Excellency President Ahmed Bola Tinubu for this, reaching out to the vulnerable and some women just to assist them. This is Christmas period and it's a period of sharing, period of love.
We have lost hope that nothing will be done this year, but with our new Honorable Minister, I'm happy because Nigerian women are dearly in need of this.
For championing the Renewed Hope agenda of food security and making sure that the less privileged, the vulnerable, have access to food.
With joy and excitement, the women proceed back to their constituencies for onward distribution. Momso Damien Ati, NTA News.
Let's take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, as part of his efforts to guarantee adequate security across the country, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has put measures in place to boost the morale of soldiers and other security operatives. Lieutenant General Oluyede, who organized a luncheon for soldiers and other security operatives, told them to uphold their constitutional mandate by sustaining the nation's territorial integrity. Innocent Agbo reports.
In ensuring the realization of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu's dream of achieving adequate security for the country, the Nigerian Army, under the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has seen support and encouragement to soldiers and other security operatives as indispensable tools. The Chief of Army Staff festive luncheon, which took place at the Nkwago Military Cantonment, Abakaliki Formation, based in Ivol local government area of Ebonyi State, is one of those measures to pat them on the back and to re-strategize them towards achieving the aims of the Southeast Operation Udoka. The Chief of Army Staff, represented by Major General O.C. Ajunwa, expressed gratitude to the officers and soldiers for their unwavering commitment in addressing Nigerian security challenges. He urged them to remain focused and loyal to constituted authorities while fulfilling their constitutional duties.
Let me reiterate that the welfare of officers, soldiers and their families, including those of our departed and injured colleagues, will remain my top priority.
Earlier in his remarks, the GOC 82 Division Nigerian Army and Commander JTF Southeast Operation Udoka, Major General Hassan Dada, commended the troops for their operational achievements. He encouraged them to redouble their efforts, while the Nkwago Military Cantonment Commander Lieutenant Colonel Audu Bako promised continuous close check on the men to ensure actualization of the objective.
For all the troops, I remain very grateful. Without you, we will not be here and we will not be able to achieve what we are. Thank you and God bless.
The trust will no doubt inspire us to continue upholding the highest standards of professionalism and dedication to duty.
The event was attended by dignitaries as well as head of other security agencies in the field, and it featured the symbolic serving of meals to troops and different cultural displays. In Abakaliki, Innocent Agbo, NTA News.
In the meantime, troops of 1 Brigade, Sector 2 Operation Fansanyama have apprehended a 25-year-old female ammunition courier, Shamsiya Ahadu, who allegedly specializes in supplying weapons to terrorists in Zamfara State. The suspect was arrested alongside her accomplice, a motorcycle rider, in Badarawa district of Shinkafi local government area of the state. She was found in possession of 764 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition and 6 magazines meant to be delivered to a wanted terrorist kingpin, Bello Tiriji's camp. A statement from the coordinator, Joint Media Coordinating Center, Operation Fansanyama, and Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi says the arrest followed an intelligence report regarding the movements of the terrorist logistics in the area. The statement says the troops remain dedicated to dismantling all terrorist networks as well as preventing illegal movements of arms and ammunition within their theater of operation. It urges members of the public not to relent in their efforts to provide credible information that will lead to the arrest of wanted terrorists and their collaborators. And staying with security, the Nigerian Navy is set to navigate uncharted waters in 2025 with 24 newly promoted rear admirals expected to be at the helm of various naval operations. Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani reports on the impact this is expected to make on Nigeria's naval capabilities.
Shipping of stripes, the age-old naval tradition of promoting a senior officer, comes with much responsibility. For the former Director Information of the Nigerian Navy and his counterparts, this means using experience to bear on key issues including maritime security and diplomacy.
We are sufficiently motivated to continue on the path of service to the nation.
The defense and naval chiefs say this also has broader consequences expected to lead to a shift in military operations in 2025.
The Nigerian Navy and the armed forces will continue to rely on the leadership and expertise of individuals like you for maritime security and to safeguard our country to ensure we tackle all the security challenges, including economic challenges.
You are expected to be above board and ensure that your subordinates equally buy into the zero tolerance stance of the Nigerian Navy to all forms of illegalities and criminalities.
When an officer is promoted, it recognizes hard work, dedication, leadership, and strategic thinking abilities of the said officer. In the case of the Nigerian Navy, the promotion of these 24 to the rank of Rear Admiral can have a huge impact on national security policies, especially regarding the way the Nigerian Navy operations are handled. A total of 146 senior officers were promoted to various ranks in the Nigerian Navy, 24 of them to the 2-star rank of Rear Admiral, and this is expected to lead to significant reorganization, making an impact on the Navy's overall structure and operations in 2025. Naja'at Tijani, NTA News.
Away from security matters, the Nigerian Television Authority and other federal government-owned broadcast outfits are receiving adequate federal government's attention to maintain their leading role in broadcasting. Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, said this in Kaduna at a reunion of former staff of NTA Kaduna. Haruna Mohammed reports that former Director General of the NTA, Mohammed Ibrahim, chaired the occasion.
The reunion of the former staff of NTA was a platform for frank discussion and recalling their past with nostalgia. While recounting his good old days in NTA, the former Director General, Malam Mohammed Ibrahim, who chaired the event, traced the evolution of the Nigerian Television Authority in 1976 to the desire of the federal government in unifying the country after 1967 Civil War. Director General of NTA, Comrade Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, said President Tinubu has deployed resources for the provision of modern facilities for the federal government-owned media organizations.
So I would like to thank the President for considering the need to finance the rehabilitation, also the equipping of our stations across the country, and equally to thank the Honourable Minister for being there for us. It's an issue that is very, very important, and this is a very big achievement under this present administration.
A paper presenter, Professor Sumaila Shehu of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, and other speakers stressed the need for NTA to maintain its leading role in the broadcast industry.
NTA is there before everyone, and it's everywhere, and you can't beat the rich. Some licenses were given to other private practitioners who are yet to establish a holistic network like that of NTA.
I've seen great changes, so whether we accept it or not, there have been changes. I watch my screen every day, and sometimes I don't know whether I'm watching BBC or NTA. It as it is, and it is true. What we want to see is that this development translates to some of our local stations.
Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
In a bid to ensure safe motoring of highways during and after the Yuletide festivities, the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FIRMA, has embarked on nationwide maintenance of the highways tagged Operation Connect to Your Destination 2.0. Haruna Mohammed reports that FIRMA coordinator in charge of Kaduna State, Kabiru Ilyasu Danmulki, was on inspection tour of ongoing maintenance works on highways in the state.
Live sooner, drive slower, to live longer, but the roads must be in good shape. Upshot of the matching order, program Connect to Your Destination 2.0 by the Managing Director, Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Engineer Emeka Akwasi. The order is in full force in Kaduna State with the repairs of failed sections and patching of potholes. On the Zaria-Hunkuyi-Danja, Katsina State Border Highway, the maintenance is on top gear with the engineer in charge of road maintenance Kaduna State, Kabiru Ilyasu Damulki, inspecting the quality of work and pace.
One of the major roads in Kaduna State that connects so many communities, and also it goes to so many states. Our advice is always for the motorists and general public to always cooperate with us while working on the roads. This work is for good of everybody.
For the commuters of the highway, this is what they have to say.
We commend FEMA for this job, especially the quality of the work.
I like the road now. Good way.
The pothole on the road made it bad, but now that FEMA is working on it, we are grateful.
The Operation Connect to Your Destination 2.0 under the Federal Road Maintenance Agency. By the time this road is completed, it will be a smooth ride for commuters. But like the Federal Road Safety is saying, drive safe to remain alive. From Zaria, Hunkui, Danja, Katanga State border, I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
The House Committee on Sports has described the home-based Super Eagles qualification for the Championship of African Nations Cup at the expense of Ghana as a good sign that Nigeria's flag will be hoisted at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The home-based Eagles on Saturday defeated their Ghanaian counterparts 3-1 at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium, Uyo, after a goalless draw in the first leg in Accra. Reacting to the victory, Chairman House Committee on Sports, Kabiru Amadu, congratulated the team and the Nigeria Football Federation for finishing the year on a high. He urged the NFF to build on the achievements going into 2025, expressing hope that football will put a smile on the faces of Nigerians in the new year. Amadu advocated early camping of national teams to put those in good stead as title contenders. Next is a check on Monday's weather prospects for Nigeria and other world cities. And this is where we end the news on NTA International. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.